now watching Chopping It Up with Roger Cador and Perry White.
You got it good over there, Coach?
Finally.
Try to make sure you get the headsets on, man. Good morning to everybody out there. I hope you guys had a great weekend. I'm Perry White. He's the man, the myth, the legend himself, Roger Cador, my man on the board, Garrett Edgerson, and somebody who been messing with me since I've been in the studio this morning. Aaron is back there. Good to see you, Aaron.
Good to see you guys.
Uh-huh, that's right. She told me, she thought I was from Alcorn today, so I feel some type of way about that. You've been to Alcorn plenty of times, haven't you?
I love it.
You like Alcorn?
Love it. It's a nice situated in the rolling hills of Mississippi, and I think it's a really nice place, so I like it.
Yeah. Would you have ever gone to coach there?
I probably could have.
Yeah.
I mean, it had all of the settings that I like, and it would give me the kind of tranquility.
Tranquility.
That I desire.
Because it sure is nothing else there.
Well, there is enough to do.
Yeah.
You can always go to where you need to do what you need to do.
Yeah. Well, Aaron, I'm a Pine Bluff, Arkansas guy, okay? Not Lorman, Mississippi, right? Yeah, that was going to be your second choice. Coach, I got to ask you this. I mean, since we brought up Alcorn, I don't really quite remember Alcorn's baseball program, but have they had success in the past? Do you remember some successful Alcorn teams?
They won a championship in 2011 or 12, but they've had good personnel. They just couldn't get over the hump.
Yeah,
over Jackson and Grambling and Southern. They couldn't get over that hump, but had really good personnel.
Yeah, you talk about tranquility. You talking about personnel. Look at this guy. Look at this right here. This guy is on the cover of Inside Pitch. Coach, now, I don't know. How old were you on this one now? You had a little facial hair. You look like you're a little bit younger today. You actually look younger now than you did then.
What are you trying to say?
I think you're aging backwards. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's a good thing. You looked a little bit older then. Yeah. I like the frames, though. Talk to me. Would you remember this picture?
I don't particularly remember the exact picture, but I remember I had many days of talking to my players like that. And, I was thinking just the other day, when people ask me, do I miss coaching? Not necessarily, but I miss the storytelling. Because, I was challenged every day to tell a story, and the kids wanted to hear a story, so I do miss telling the stories.
Well, give me a story, Coach. I'm one of the kids. Give me a story.
If you don't get on with this show, we're going to make sure come back through this door. How about that?
I just wanted to hear a story from the past, man. Yeah. All right. Listen, this book, this magazine, Inside Pitch, talk to me about Inside Pitch magazine and how you ended up on the cover of this thing, Coach.
I don't know. I got a call, and the next thing I know, he was contacting Aaron, and it all got set up where I did the interview during June while I was down Aaron and I were down at the Hank Aaron Invitation in Vero Beach, and I did this interview. It ended up being an extensive interview, but a really good one, as we try to highlight some of the things that I've done and tried to promote HBCUs and African American in baseball.
It says here on the page, too, it says Southern's Roger Cador explains how he brings impact to a team. How does a Roger Cador bring impact to a team, and what does that mean?
Well, I don't – I try to bring history, experience, and life lessons learned to what I'm trying to do is teach young people when I'm talking to them. So it's all in one, and usually people can only talk about things that they have experienced, and I've experienced quite a lot in my few years on this earth.
Now, I see this one right here. That's a throwback picture right there.
That's one in the first year, maybe the 85, 86. I was quite young then, learning. That picture was taken in the dugout at Pete Goldsby. I do remember that picture. It was taken at Pete Goldsby right here in Baton Rouge.
I look at another one. You're getting dumped with some water right here. I mean, it must have been one of those mini championships.
Yeah, it was probably 209 right there. And, the thing I remember about that I had to do the stinky leg dance if we won. And I see Garrett is shaking his head. He probably heard the stinky leg. The mayor, Kip Holden, came out to that game, and, that was a big day. We beat Alcorn for the championship.
Oh, speaking of Alcorn,
yeah.
Wow.
So we beat them for the championship. That's 2009. And that was a memorable one. So the stinky leg. And it was only because of Paul Ben. I don't know, you didn't.
Oh, I know Poe Bean.
Well, Paul Ben used to.
Yeah, he bring that broom out on you.
Well, he had the stinky leg on. And the kid said, you have to do it. And I did the best version of it that I could.
Man, Poe Bean, man, that was a character.
For many years.
Yeah.
I mean, he was there with us in the beginning at Pete Goldsby. And, I mean, he became a staple.
Oh, I enjoyed him, every bit of him at the game.
Everybody loved him, the opposing teams and everyone. And Jesse was unique in what he did, and he was just a unique individual.
See, that's one of those stories. I say, give me one of those stories. Give me a story about Poe Bean and how that even came about. The first time you saw him step up and was like, what is going on here?
I never did, but you know what? If we were not playing good, he would come to the dugout and say, what's going on, boys? Yo, work up in here.
Mm-hmm.
So he would try to get the kids fired up. And, and the kids had an obligation not to let him down. They wanted to win for poor Ben because he displayed a lot of energy and loyalty to the team.
Yeah, no doubt. If you're up in a weekend series and it looked like you're about to sweep it, he'd come with this big broom and he'll get that other team and sweep him right up out of there.
That would come right along with him, sweeping the bases off. And, that was stuff that is gone. Probably you won't see again.
Yeah.
Because people have too much sophistication in themselves.
Well, they want to act like that. I don't know if they really, they little bougie these days.
Yeah, they want to act that way rather than just be, a fan.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I scream, stand up, I shout out games. The people be next to you, they be all sitting down.
I do scream every now and then.
Do you?
I say things.
I'm sure as a coach you said many things.
But as a fan, I say things.
What do you watch most that you are probably the most into? What sport?
Baseball.
What in baseball to get you to scream or yell?
Normally it's an umpire call.
Oh, yeah.
Because you try to,
You ain't feeling that strike zone sometime?
The strike zone I don't have big issues with.
Mm-hmm.
It's some of the things when they're out of position they make calls. And particularly in college. In the pros it's all correctable. But in college it's uncorrectable. So being in good position is paramount of importance.
I like
especially in SWAC, where you don't have the replay. So that's where I'm big. But very rarely on the players because they're young amateurs playing a very difficult sport. So I stay away from them. The coaches I don't always do. If they make a bad call, a bad move, I may say something, but that's it.
How have you been enjoying the other side in terms of broadcasting, being able to sit down and give a perspective of the game from a coach's perspective? But like you said, you're now a fan of the game even more, and you get a chance to actually acknowledge and watch the game from a different perspective. But that coaching hat is always still on. It may be backwards, sideways, but it's always there. But how have you liked and enjoyed, or do you even enjoy being able to have the opportunity to call games?
I put the fans in the game. I put them, the fans listening at home, I put them in the stadium, in the seat. That's what my job is, and I think I've done a pretty good job. And because people have told me that I take the game to a different level, because they actually it's like they're there, and that's what I try to do. And I've come from a lot of experience watching and listening to some of the very best analysts, and I know the game pretty good, so I could articulate some things that that most people can't see and don't understand.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm able to do.
And it's always good to hear from a perspective of a former player as well as a former coach that has won on many levels, to give you an idea of what's going through a kid's head, what's going through a coach's head when he walks out to the mound, when he's talking to his guy over there on third base. When, you know, those perspectives that a lot of times the fan don't really get a chance to understand when it comes to the game of baseball.
Yeah, that's important that you do that. And, you know, I became, you know, I had done this with Cox, Cox Communication. After I retired, I've done some games. I've done some college games, and I've done some minor league games with Cox. So I had the experience. And the SWAC, it just came on the fluke. I was there for the commissioner as a liaison to help oversee the SWAC tournament. And then they were so bad.
On the call?
The calls. And the call came to me, hey, Coach, can you help us out? I said, well, we need to talk with the commissioner. And I went and talked with him and said, you're here to help us in any way you can. I went in and they didn't want to let me go. So that's how I became that.
What if Southern wanted to get you to be their baseball broadcast guy?
I would do it.
Would you? I think it would be great to have you do that.
Yeah, because I understand the historical part. Baseball allows someone like me to tell a story, history, that the people will listen to that they don't even know about. And that's what I could do as good as I can.
Man, I hope they listening. Y'all need to get this man right here on the baseball broadcast. Matter of fact, get both of us on the baseball broadcast. We just sit there and talk about the baseball game and the history, because who knows it better than you when it comes to Southern baseball history, right?
Well, I think alive, I probably know it better because I've been around it for 50-some years.
No doubt about it.
You know, and I don't think there is too many more people who have been in the belly of it the way I have over 50-some years as a player, coach, and all of that.
Because, I mean, Pete Richardson, he's calling the football games.
Yeah.
You know, so I think it'd be nice to see you on the baseball side as well.
Well, I think in some aspects Southern has missed out with all of the things that I could do for them. I did a lot. But they missed out for some reason I can't understand. And I have no problem with it because I have a understanding people have a right to do whatever they want to do.
That's right.
Whoever they want to do it with. So I understand that. I get to do a lot of stuff with people. There are people all over the world who loves me and think that I have something of value.
That's right.
I mean, you know, and I said it. I was doing an interview yesterday, and I told a lady, I'm from New Roads, and I said, it's ironic. I get called all over the world to come and do stuff, and not once someone from New Road have asked me 30 miles away. I said, but the Bible talks about you're foreign in your hometown, in your homeland sometimes, where other people may appreciate what you have to offer.
Yeah, the strangers will typically praise you more than the people who know you best.
Yeah, so I knew that in the Bible, so that's why I never took an attitude toward being angry and upset about none of that. I have something of value. If you want it, fine.
Let's talk about this quote you have here in the book and the Inside the Pitch in which they feature you. It says a quote from Roger Cador: "The rich are getting richer, but that's how it always is. And wherever there are challenges, that means there have to be opportunities as well."
Ooh, that's a good one. Wherever there are challenges, there are opportunities because people always go for the glitter and the gold, and the other opportunities may not be as shiny and bright and polished, but they're there, and you have to go in and take advantage of them.
You know, I heard that with Coach Deion Sanders, that they just put out a new 60-minute special on him, and what he basically talked about was he didn't want to go anywhere where it was already set up. He wanted to be where a challenge, what you just said, presents an opportunity. He wanted a challenge. He said Colorado was the challenge. That's what he wanted to prove himself by being able to be challenged in order to create that opportunity.
It was the perfect situation. In a way, I was telling a friend of mine, I wish Deion had gone there when he first had that issue with the blood clot. He would have been so much better because of the technology in Colorado opposed to Jackson, Mississippi. He didn't have the best. Fortunate they didn't kill him.
Yeah.
But if he had been in Colorado then, a lot of things would have been different simply because of improved technology. You know, so I think, you know, what he said is correct. A lot of people like building. and he's good, and he's confident, and he's got something everybody else wish they had, the ability to connect to people.
Mm-hmm.
People love him, even though there are people who hate him. So, but that's okay. They hated Jesus, and he was perfect.
Last quote I'm going to give you, and this is from you as well. Before you know it, these kids are going to have families of their own, and they need to be able to stick it out just like they stick it out with me. What you mean there?
Well, we went through some difficult times not having.
Mm-hmm.
You see, and they stuck it out with me because we didn't have no field, no equipment.
Mm-hmm.
Just didn't have all of the bare necessity. But they stuck it out with me, and we made it happen.
Mm-hmm.
We built something very special. But I told them in 1986 that when history was written, it's going to be written. They'll be a part of it. And that 86 group proved it a year later in 87 when they beat Cal State Fullerton. And now when they come back and see the baseball field build and the clubhouse, all of that I told them would happen. It just didn't happen in their time. It just took me a little longer, but I made it happen.
Were you shocked at the success coming so quick? You said in 86, but in 87, boom, you go out and do something no HBCU or particularly a small school go out and beat a big-time program like Cal State Fullerton.
I wasn't surprised.
Yeah.
I had the players. See, why we were so good for so long, for so many years, is that I had good players.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew what I had, so we were able to compete on a different level.
Did you have that confidence and swag along with it as well?
I didn't have the same kind of confidence like a Deion Sanders does. Mine was more on the inside that we would do because I didn't want to. Plus, I had a wife who would not let me do that kind of talking.
Yeah.
She felt that you never want to brag on yourself. You need to prepare the kids and get them to do their very best. So it was important not for me to be very calm about what we were doing.
Mm-hmm.
Never brag.
Don't brag about it?
No bragging.
No bragging.
I didn't want to be like the McCoy in Hatfield. No brag, just facts.
I got you. Hey, that's a good way to stay humble.
Humble is better.
Yeah.
For me,
Yeah.
anyway. Because I've been able to do a lot, get a lot of things done by being humble.
Man, you've done a lot, man, and that's why I think they put you on the front cover of this book for everybody to see. It's Inside the Pitch, right? Magazine. They got this guy right here, Roger Cador, some guy that used to coach at Southern University down in Baton Rouge, man. Looks like he was a pretty good coach down there. You ever heard of him?
Yeah. And I like to say something, Perry. There are coaches like Coach Brady, Robert Brady at Jackson, and Wilbert Ellis at Grambling. We all coached in that era and all had a measure of success. And I tried to explain to them when they asked me why you're able to get people to do this for you and this. I said, I did some things that was preparing me for this at the end of my career. I said, I did the public relation where you all didn't. I said, I did the interviews. I had the TV shows. You guys didn't. I said, y'all were just coaches. I was much more than that. So as a result, I'm able to capitalize on some things at the end of my coaching career that they weren't able to because all they can take home was a bunch of games won.
Yep.
And I try to tell people all the time, them damn games won don't mean nothing. You can't do anything with them.
Once they on, they gone, huh?
You see, and so I tried to make them understand there's other things you do that you put in that basket that you can later on get out of it. And it's public relation, community service, doing all of those kind of things.
You're a smart brother.
Well, I was thinking all along it would do. This is why, for me to get to start doing color analysts, I allowed Cox to mic me up in the third base box. I knew it had value. Well, a lot of coaches would never do it. But I said, this had value. It helped me. And the guy who was the producer told me, when you get through coaching, you're going to do some work for us as a color analyst. And he held to his word. He let me do them.
Well, that's a good thing, man. Now here we are doing the show together on these Monday mornings. I appreciate it. And I enjoy having the conversations and talking with you.
You're lucky Aaron recommended you.
Hey, And she giving me a hard time today now. See, I know when we go to break, she gonna say something else off the wall to me. I don't know what it is yet, but she's cooking something up over there, I'm sure. Right? Yeah, she laughing. She know, Coach. All right, let's get ready to take a break, pay some bills, and we'll come back. All right, more Chopping It Up with Cador.
Some Baton Rouge business travelers travel out of Baton Rouge. Some don't. The ones that do know BTR is all about being closer, more convenient, with non-stops and short hops to anywhere their business takes them. They also know not flying BTR means more traffic, longer lines, and wasted time. So if it's about going from driveway to runway with a lot less highway, isn't it about time you flew BTR? Baton Rouge Metro Airport. It's about time. Smart Baton Rouge business travelers travel out of Baton Rouge because BTR is so close and convenient, they're always one step ahead, rather than dead on their feet. So, isn't it about time you flew BTR? Baton Rouge Metro Airport.
Getting a letter from the IRS that you owe back taxes can be scary, but it doesn't have to be. Call Go Tax Resolution in Lafayette at 337-420-1040 today. We'll help stop garnishments, levies, and seizures immediately. With over 35 years of dealing directly with the IRS, our team of local professionals will help you pay the least amount possible. So if you owe back taxes to the IRS, you need help. Call the tax professionals at Go Tax Resolution in Lafayette at 337-420-1040. Your go-to tax relief.
BRAC implemented the Imagine Your Park strategic plan nearly 20 years ago. The results transformed the park system in East Baton Rouge Parish. There are 12 new community parks, 6 dog parks, Liberty Lagoon Water Park, skateboard parks, fishing ponds, a new conservation area in Central, improved playgrounds, and a growing trail system. It's really a lot to keep track of.
So we decided to give you an insider's peek into some of these amazing new community assets through the eyes of the folks who know them best, BRAC's community partners.
My name is Nathaniel Klum, and I am Paddle BR. What I often say I am is chief doer of stuff. The two things that everyone wanted were paddling and trails, and in our case, paddle trails. And so we did a lot of work to make it so that people could get out on the bayou, but without access points, no one can use them. BRAC has been amazing at building paddle launch sites so that we can get out on the water and enjoy everything that Baton Rouge has to offer. Not only are they listening to everything that Imagine Your Parks and Imagine Your Parks 2 that we asked for, but it's actually getting done, which I don't know about you, but that makes me happy every day of the week.
No wonder BRAC is the recipient of the National Gold Medal by the National Recreation and Parks Association. There really is something about East Baton Rouge and national champions. BRAC, #1 and still getting better.
Hey, Coach Roger Cador here. There's something about teamwork that brings the best out in any business. When I need a tow, I call Roadrunner Towing. Roadrunner's 4 generations strong and homegrown right here in Baton Rouge.
Thanks, Coach. There's no job too large or too small. Call Roadrunner for quick, reliable, exceptional service. We don't want an arm and a leg. We just want your toes. And remember, take time each day to be a blessing to someone. Thank you.
With over 60 years of combined experience, Kathy Sherburne and Anna Barnett bring a wealth of knowledge and excitement to the framing industry. Keeping strong to the Louisiana culture, Acadian Frame and Art has numerous local artists and sports team memorabilia for their customers to choose from. Whether you're creating a gallery-like setting in your office or simply looking for some fun art for your kids' playroom, Acadian Frame and Art is your one-stop picture framing spot. Call 225-927-6129 or go to www.acadianframe.com.
Get the memoir from the legendary baseball coach from Southern University, Roger Cador, Against All Odds. Roger refused to let his past dictate his future by rising to legendary college baseball status. An inspiring story of tenacity, faith, and hope. Against All Odds chronicles Coach Cador's determination to reach higher, to want more. and to dig deeper to find the courage to chase his dreams. Against All Odds. Get yours today by Cador and Cador Publishing. You are now watching Chopping It Up with Roger Cador and Perry White.
All right, we're ready and we're back. It's more of Chopping It Up with Coach Roger Cador. You see him over there. That's the man. He got that top button. You where your chain at today? You got the chain? There you go. Floss that thing. There you go. You got to floss that thing. That's Coach Roger Cador. I'm Perry White, my man on the board. Garrett Edgerton. We got Aaron in the house today. And, Coach, you watch any football this weekend?
Watch a little football this weekend.
You did?
I watched some Saturday. I watched a little of the, I guess, Georgia.
Yeah.
And South Carolina and a little Alabama, South Florida. And very little the Colorado State. And all I did yesterday was watch the NFL Red Zone.
Mm-hmm.
I watched some of that. That's it. I didn't watch a band, and I did a long interview yesterday, so I was telling you about it. Actually, you and I talked yesterday.
Yeah,
so
we did.
I didn't do a whole lot, you know.
Yeah, you talking about the Colorado games, man. Dion and them, they played too late for me. It was almost 2 o'clock in the morning trying to watch that game, man. And then it goes into overtime. And if it was late for me, I can only imagine the East Coast people in terms of New York and all along there. Like,
yeah, it's tough.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest disadvantage of being on the West Coast now when you play at night. Now, I know that why teams want to get teams from 4 time zone because rating, advertising. That's why those SEC teams and Big 8, Big 12, and whatever, they're all doing what they're doing because they're trying to get into different time zones to suit certain people. The people on the West Coast is all right.
Yeah. I was cool with the big noon show when they was at 12 o'clock. That was like perfect. But a 9 o'clock kickoff going into overtime along with the commercials and TVs, man, listen, I was struggling trying to stay and watch that thing, man.
He was big time struggling.
Yeah. A Saturday for me starts at 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning because I got to do the radio show. Then you go out to a football game. I went to the Southern game. So, you have your fun tailgating, then the game, and then afterwards, it was a long day from about 5:30 until about 2 o'clock the next morning trying to watch some football, man.
How did the Southern thing work out for you? The game, fans in the game?
We won.
That's all we can say is Southern won, but the fans weren't quite there like the week before. Not quite. They weren't there like the week before. Coach, you could have kicked your feet out and laid out wherever you wanted.
No, and that's the thing I don't really understand. And I do and I don't. I do and I don't. If you're going to support a team, you support them in the good time and bad time. Mm-hmm. Because it's still early in the year. They're 1-2. Am I correct?
That is correct.
They're 1-0 in the SWAC, and they got Arkansas Pine Bluff this weekend. Mm-hmm. If they win, they're 2-0, and then they come home to play FAMU. You can't just come when you think that they should win. You got to come all the time.
Yeah.
You just can't pick and choose. Now, it's easy for me to say it because those tickets are expensive,
I don't think necessarily expensive. I just think people from what they've seen thus far of the team have kind of, and then dating back to last year, aren't really happy with the product that they're seeing. And when people don't like a certain product, they won't spend until they see a change with the product, right? Yeah. I think currently that's where it is. Southern won this weekend, getting a victory over Alabama A&M 20-10. Connell Maynard made it to sports, and did you hear him? He was barking, Coach. Did you know that?
No, why was he doing that?
Because he said they was coming in, they was going to bite something this weekend.
They got bitten.
Tell Coach what you did.
Oh, after the game, I walked up on him and I barked. I said, yeah, keep on barking. Bark on to next week. He looked at me, and then I barked at the state trooper who was walking with me. He looked back. I said, both y'all can go bark together. They ain't like that. They wasn't feeling that.
Be careful.
Yeah.
Don't mess with coaches after a loss in football, man.
Well, don't be barking at us and all over Sports Center barking at Southern, man. Come on.
Go.
It's done. I did my barking.
Okay.
Yeah.
Don't do it again.
Well, I can't bark at the coach.
I'm not advising you to do that. Enough.
Southern get the victory over the Bulldogs, Alabama A&M 20-10. Some other games around the SWAC this weekend. Jackson State goes on the road, lose to Texas State 77-34, coach. Alcorn State getting a victory over McNeese, the second time a SWAC school has beaten a team from the Southland in football, and it's all come by way of the same team. That's Alcorn. They're the only SWAC team in now 18 tries to have defeated McNeese, and they've done it twice. So shout out to the Braves of Alcorn, 17-3 over McNeese. Delta State getting a victory over Mississippi Valley State, 35-7. You know, Delta State right there in Cleveland, Mississippi. Mississippi Valley and Itabena, not too far from each other, but Valley got a long way to go. They getting beat up by D2 schools like that, 35-7. Rice getting a victory. Houston schools right there, 59-7 over Texas Southern. Florida A&M getting a victory over West Florida, which I thought was pretty impressive. Florida A&M, it's hard to beat them at home at Bragg Memorial, but most importantly, West Florida just a couple years removed from winning a Division II National Football Championship. So congratulations to the Rattlers of getting it done right now. They seem to look like the absolute best team in the SWAC. Pine
What
Bluff,
was the score?
31-10.
Okay.
Pine Bluff up my way in my hometown. The Golden Lions getting a 1-point victory, 21-20 over Miles College. A 4th and goal line stance on the 4-yard line, and that's how they was able to win the game. So that's when your defense steps up big and have to hold it down. They did it. 21-20. Grambling getting the victory, 58-22 over Florida Memorial, and Prairie View getting whooped up on by SMU, 69-0, and Miami whooping up on Bethune-Cookman, 48-7.
Grambling still gave up a lot of score to Florida Memorial. I don't understand what's going on up there at Grambling. A lot of people are focusing on Southern, but then about Grambling, to me, they're struggling more.
They won a game. I guess that's all that.
Okay.
And then you look around in the top 25, Florida State has moved up to number 3 in the nation, man. A hell of a game against Boston College in which they battled back late in that game. Florida State holds on to win 31-29. Penn State getting a victory over Illinois 30-13. Did you watch any of this LSU and Mississippi State game?
Watched very little, yeah.
Well, they came out and was not playing, beat the hell out of the Bulldogs. I hate those cowbells, John. You ever heard those cowbells at Mississippi State?
Yes, I have.
Oh, my Lord. 41-14, LSU getting the victory over Mississippi State. Missouri with an upset. They messed up my parlay this weekend on FanDuel, beating Kansas State 30-27. Notre Dame, another team I pay attention to, getting a big victory over Central Michigan, 41-17. The game you watched, the Bulldogs of Georgia, 24, South Carolina 14. And another game I think caught a lot of people by surprise is watching Alabama struggle on the road at South Florida, going through quarterback changes, Nick Saban trying to find out who's the next guy. But at halftime, this game was 3-3. No one would have saw that coming. Alabama finding a way to get it done late. 17-3 was the final score. It has a lot of people asking, is it trouble in paradise when you look at Nick Saban and Alabama? They don't seem to be big, bad, blow you out Alabama at this point.
They don't look at it at all. You know, and it's silly that fans are calling them, probably saying, that's it, maybe it's over for Nick. This is what I'm saying. This is a volatile professional at this time, a profession, and you just got to put it aside and not pay attention to fans.
Another game, Florida and Tennessee. Tennessee has not won a game in Gainesville since 2003. It has been 20 years, and guess what? They came in the number 11 ranked team. Florida has not really looked good this year, but Florida kept the streak going. 29-16. Tennessee is still yet to win in Gainesville since 2003, because that's a long time to go somewhere and take an L every time.
Well, especially in the SEC, you would think that, you know, that at some point a team like Tennessee, a program, has some history, would be able to win a game in Gainesville.
And then finally, the game of the weekend. It came down in double overtime. The whole nation stayed up and watched this game. And it was amazing to watch all of the celebrities and everybody that day with College Game Day and whatever else to pay attention to Boulder, Colorado, because let me tell you, Coach, never in my life have I watched Colorado football. Never in my life have I gave a damn about Colorado and Colorado State. But I was tuned in, and this game came down to the wire. Colorado down late in the fourth quarter. Shedeur Sanders and Colorado battled back 98 yards down the field to score to tie this thing up with a 2-point conversion, send it to overtime, and Colorado gets it done 43-35 over their rival Colorado State. And the whole world is loving Coach Deion Sanders as they're 3-0 right now. Won only one game last year, went 1-11, but this year they have won 3 games. Guess what? That was all they picked them to win for the entire season. They're already there at 3-0.
Well, they've done a good job. A lot of people are excited about what Coach Prime has done and the success of his ball club. The key now, they have Oregon this week.
Mm-hmm.
They probably go up to Eugene or Corvallis, whatever city is in. And we'll see. It'll be a good test for them. And it's probably good that they struggle against Colorado State so they could know that teams are just not going to come and let them score, not going to lay down. They're going to have to play. They're going to have to do better defensively, and they've got to be more consistent from the offensive side of the ball. Offensive line got to do a better job.
Did you hear what Colorado State coach Jay Norvell said to basically about Deion? Said, kind of threw a little hint. My mom taught me when I talk to grown-ups, I take my hat and my shades off. Deion said this is personal now. He's talking about my mama. So Deion actually brought his mom in the locker room before the game, and she gave the speech to the team.
Oh, she did? I didn't know that.
She said, when I tell you, when people do you wrong, you whoop their ass. So y'all go whoop their ass. And those were her words. Those not my words. That was Deion Sanders' mom's words. And
you feel good about saying that, don't you?
Well, that's his mom. I'm just repeating what his mom said,
I think they place far too much emphasis on this game being personal. Mm-hmm. And it almost came back to,
woo!
You see, I think you got to be careful from that side, from having been a coach.
Mm-hmm.
It's so much easier to just stay with the kids, concentrating on their responsibility.
Yeah, because what do you do after if you lose that game and you had all this hype, your mom and everything else, and then you got to go out there and bite that bullet?
Yeah, so it's better to – what is your game responsibility? Let's stay there and go get it done. I think it's – especially with young people. Remember, these still are young people.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them may be 22, 23, but the majority are young, so you got to be careful with what they're thinking, concentrating on, and focusing on. So I would just try to back off of some of this thing about personal and all of that.
Do you have a favorite NFL team, Coach?
Not really.
Who you like to watch, or do you watch the Saints much?
Not really.
The Saints got a game tonight against the Carolina Panthers.
I saw G's cousin, the Robinson, running back with the Falcons.
Nephew, 124 yards.
He did well. I wanted to say, I did remember that.
Yeah.
He did well. So I saw the replay highlight, by the way. I didn't see the game. It was a highlight, G.
But for the Saints fans out there, of course, we in South Louisiana, so there's plenty of those. Saints-Panthers play tonight, 6:15 kickoff. ESPN, another game tonight, the Browns and the Steelers. Hey, that should be a good one, too, 7:15 kickoff. Any game yesterday, you didn't watch any much. The Cowboys won, so I'm sure the Cowboy fans are happy, right? The Chiefs won. I'm a Chiefs fan, 17-9. Who else on here won? The 49ers got it done over the Rams. Pretty much.
I was hoping send the Charge, L.A. Charge. I got a nephew play with them, so I was hoping they would win.
Yeah, they lost in overtime to the Tennessee Titans to a field goal.
Yeah, so I told them just hang in that thing and get better.
Aaron, you feel some type of way about them L.A. teams when they lose?
Not really.
You a Raider? Yeah, Raiders got beat up on yesterday. The Buffalo 38-10, man. What a way to man, that's just a tough one right there. The Jets beat the I like the Ravens, too. Baltimore, I like Lamar Jackson. He's one of the guys that I like to watch, too. He's electrifying when he does have the ball in his hand. And guess what? They beat the Bengals yesterday, 27-24. The Bengals 0-2. Baltimore now 2-0.
I tell you, Josh Allen, quarterback, that guy is really something.
For Buffalo?
Oh, my goodness. He can make throws. He's athletic, too,
Oh, he can run.
Yeah, he's very athletic. Mm-hmm. So I like seeing him. Justin Herbert is not bad, too.
Mm-hmm.
Those guys are really up and coming along with Lamar Jackson. So you're correct, those kind of guys.
All right, let's get ready to take a break. We'll come back, continue the conversation. More Chopping Up with Cador, all right?
Some Baton Rouge business travelers travel out of Baton Rouge. Some don't. The ones that do know BTR is all about being closer, lines, and wasted time. So if it's about going from driveway to runway with a lot less highway, isn't it about time you flew BTR? Baton Rouge Metro Airport. It's about time. Smart Baton Rouge business travelers travel out of Baton Rouge because BTR is so close and convenient, they're always one step ahead, rather than dead on their feet. So, isn't it about time you flew BTR? Baton Rouge Metro Airport.
Getting a letter from the IRS that you owe back taxes can be scary, but it doesn't have to be. Call Go Tax Resolution in Lafayette at 337-420-1040 today. We'll help stop garnishments, levies, and seizures immediately. With over 35 years of dealing directly with the IRS, our team of local professionals will help you pay the least amount possible. So if you owe back taxes to the IRS, you need help. Call the tax professionals at Go Tax Resolution in Lafayette at 337-420-1040. Your go-to tax relief.
Looking to get some keys made, locks rekeyed, or a wide variety of new and used safe? Then look no further than the trusted choice of Alfred Safe and Lock. Conveniently located off of Government Street in Mid-City, Baton Rouge. Trust the expert locksmith at Alfred for all of your residential, commercial, and industrial lock and safe needs. Trusted by Baton Rouge and me, Roger Cador, to protect what is yours since 1946.
BRAC implemented the Imagine Your Park strategic plan nearly 20 years ago. The results transformed the park system in East Baton Rouge Parish. There are 12 new community parks, 6 dog parks, Liberty Lagoon Water Park, skateboard parks, fishing ponds, a new conservation area in Central, improved playgrounds, and a growing trail system. It's really a lot to keep track of.
So we decided to give you an insider's peek into some of these amazing new community assets through the eyes of the folks who know them best, BRAC's community partners.
My name is Nathaniel Klum, and I am Paddle BR. What I often say I am is chief doer of stuff. The two things that everyone wanted were paddling and trails, and in our case, paddle trails. And so we did a lot of work to make it so that people could get out on the bayou, but without access points, no one can use them. BRAC has been amazing at building paddle launch sites so that we can get out on the water and enjoy everything that Baton Rouge has to offer. Not only are they listening to everything that Imagine Your Parks and Imagine Your Parks 2 that we asked for, but it's actually getting done, which I don't know about you, but that makes me happy every day of the week.
No wonder BRAC is the recipient of the National Gold Medal by the National Recreation and Parks Association. There really is something about East Baton Rouge and national champions. BRAC, #1 and still getting better.
Hey, Coach Roger Cador here. There's something about teamwork that brings the best out in any business. When I need a tow, I call Roadrunner Towing. Roadrunner's 4 generations strong and homegrown right here in Baton Rouge.
Thanks, Coach. There's no job too large or too small. Call Roadrunner for quick, reliable, exceptional service. We don't want an arm and a leg. We just want your toes. And remember, take time each day to be a blessing to someone. Thank you.
With over 60 years of combined experience, Kathy Sherburne and Anna Barnett bring a wealth of knowledge and excitement to the framing industry. Keeping strong to the Louisiana culture, Acadian Frame and Art has numerous local artists and sports team memorabilia for their customers to choose from. Whether you're creating a gallery-like setting in your office or simply looking for some fun art for your kids' playroom, Acadian Frame and Art is your one-stop picture framing spot. Call 225-927-6129 or go to www.acadianframe.com.
Get the memoir from the legendary baseball coach from Southern University, Roger Cador, Against All Odds. Roger refused to let his past dictate his future by rising to legendary college baseball status. An inspiring story of tenacity, faith, and hope. Against All Odds chronicles Coach Cador's determination to reach higher, to want more, and to dig deeper to find the courage to chase his dreams. Against All Odds. Get yours today by Cador and Cador Publishing. You are now watching Chopping It Up with Roger Cador and Perry White.
All right, we're back. More Chopping It Up with Roger Cador. I'm Perry White. He's Roger Cador, my man on the board. Garrett Erickson and Aaron in the building today. We're talking about how multi-talented I am and the many things that I can do as a person, right? Sometimes it blows people's mind, Coach, when they say, what don't you do? It's a lot of – some things I can't do, though, right? Can you whistle?
You can turn the blues a gray sky blue. You can make it rain.
I can. Hey, I wanted somebody to make it rain with me. You know, show me the money. You know. Hey, but it's. When did you find out at your young age that you were talented and to see that you were talented at more than one thing?
I never did find that out. I never did. Even though I was doing things, I wasn't looking at myself as being talented.
Yeah.
I was just doing them. It was more a mode of survival, man.
Mm-hmm.
Back in the day, you had to survive, and that's really was my mission.
Yeah. You know, with me, I gave everything a try. I did baseball, I did football, I did band. Then I just started living life, doing other stuff. Then I started, hustling. I done sold everything, Coach, from clothes to apartments to whatever. I just always felt like in life you had to try. Like I'm a person that I don't like to live in regret. When somebody always go back and say, well, I probably should have tried. I always say at least I gave myself a shot. And whether I like, and I don't have a problem with failure. And I think for a lot of people, it scares them away from trying new things and different things because failure does come with it. But failure taught me a lot. I ultimately took that to the next realm of something I was trying to do and built myself from that. I'm not afraid of failure. What about you?
No, failure is a part of the progression.
Yeah.
I mean, every day you get up, you're going to fail.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times people don't look at it that way, but that's really what it is. And this is how you learn and grow from your mistakes and lack of accomplishment. So, I was never really too afraid of it because, man, where I came from, I hit the jackpot.
No, I used to be scared. Back in the day, I go to the skating ring and try to talk to a girl or something. For somebody before you learn the game, you get a little nervous when they say the cat got your tongue. You trying to speak it, therefore you done messed up. But my cousin told me something that changed my life forever. He said, "Man, the worst thing she could say is no. Eventually, somebody will say yes, right?" So I take that in life, no matter where I go, whether I'm selling something or doing something, putting myself to. You'll get some no's, but eventually there'll be a yes.
He gave you good information.
Yeah. I took that and I never looked back when it came to that.
And it's so true because I learned a lot when I was doing fundraising. I had a lot more no's than yes, but people looked and said, oh, man, you were very successful.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like playing baseball. You're failing 7 out of 10 times to be a Hall of Famer. You know what I mean?
You may not give me the money today or she may not give me the number today, but maybe next week. You never know. Don't give up. So eventually you could probably get a yes, right?
Yeah, you probably could.
Yeah. I got a yes and some no's. So I'm okay with a no. I'm okay with failure, but I don't bask in it. I learn from it and I move on. I think that's the biggest thing about it, and constructive criticism. As a coach, how hard did you find it was for young people to understand constructive criticism? Because a lot of times nobody has never told them anything. A lot of times they come from somewhere where they probably been the best and everybody has, patted them on the back even in failure without trying to build them up. But for you, constructive criticism of young people, how tough was it for them to allow that to help make them better?
It was never easy because failure in sports are a little harder sometimes for kids, and especially kids coming from high school to college.
Mm-hmm.
As you mentioned, they probably were pretty good, and no one ever told them about the difficulties that they were going to face. And, so I spent time trying to be a little, I don't want to say hard, but trying to give them a taste of what it's like.
Yeah.
What the people you're competing against ain't going to be nice to you.
Yeah, not at all.
And that's the point you got to try and get across. And sometimes it's hard crossing that bridge from reality to unreality to reality because they live in an unreal world of themselves, and then the reality of it, you may not be as good as you think.
You know, my mom had always made sure she instilled that in me. She never, like, just pat you on the back. It was always, there's more to do.
Yes.
You know, don't get content to think now that you've accomplished, you've made it, now you're on top, you know, it'll kill your work ethic.
Yeah.
That's what she always did with me and pushed me. So I've always felt like, and that's what scares me to this day, I hate to be content. I always plan things out. I have a timeline in terms of the way that I view life and where I want to see myself and the things that I want to do. And after about 2 or 3 years, I scare myself. I said, you know what? I've been in this bubble for 2-3 years now. It's time to evolve and go somewhere else because I hate being in a situation for too long and finding just feeling like that's just, I'm starting to really become content with, I hate being content.
I tell you, listen, I know exactly what you're talking about. I've hit that snag in my coaching career, and I caught myself. I said, man, I got to get back. I'm being content. Can't be content no matter what you've done and accomplished. You got to keep grinding, keep going at it.
Find a new challenge for yourself.
Yeah, find a new challenge. And it rejuvenated me to be able to go and get things done because I'm telling you, you got to be, listen, complacement is a disease. It'll kill you if you don't watch it.
That's my hometown. That's where I'm from. There's a lot of complacent people.
Oh, a lot. Well, a lot of. That's why they can't leave.
Now, they ain't leaving. It's the same thing, different day.
Leaving. I come from a place like that, too. Ain't nobody leaving. They complace.
Then they look at you. They like, oh, you big time now, huh? You done went somewhere. You big time. I see you. Big money, let me hold something.
Big money, let me hold
That's
something.
what they say when you go back. Oh, you big time. You know, they follow you on social media. I see you on Facebook. You be all.
They thinking it's money.
They thinking it's money falling out the sky and you swimming in it.
You know, so many people used to tell me when I was coaching and I was doing on TV a lot, doing commercial, and a lot of it was pro bono commercial, community service announcement. You don't get paid for that. Oh, you're on TV, you're rich, you're making a lot of money.
Yeah, so you don't have that Stephen A. Smith contract?
No.
That Shannon Sharp contract?
No.
That Pat McAfee contract?
No.
Yeah, none of that?
Never had it.
Gee, when you go back and you're around people in New Orleans, do they hit you with the big money? You big money now?
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
You're unfortunate.
Yeah. They be watching your pockets, man. That's what they be doing, trying to watch your pocket. Hey, look, you think you big money when you see him on the magazine now. That's when I really think you big money. Everybody can't make a magazine, right?
They paid me a lot of money. Aaron negotiated that contract.
Look, you put me on the magazine, it make everybody think, hey, man, what you doing down there? So, you know, is this the first time you've been on the magazine?
Probably not.
Yeah. No.
Maybe. No, that's a good question. Probably.
Yeah. He on this book, too. Y'all see this book, Against All Odds. He on there, too, man. You just – do you have older people, and I'm going to say seasoned people, they still believe in pictures on the wall. You know, young folks today, they don't put pictures on the wall. It's just in your phone, right?
Yeah.
Do you have a house – in your house, do you just have walls full of pictures?
No, don't. No.
I
only have 3 pictures that are special pictures. One when I played with the Braves. One somebody did an oil painting of me. It's about a $10,000 picture.
Really?
And then the Hall of Fame, Louisiana Hall of Fame picture. The guy did a good job. Those are the only 3 pictures.
That's where you beat out Peyton Manning for the most votes, right?
That's what they say. I find that difficult, but someone said that.
I've heard that rumor that's out there. They say you beat out Peyton Manning for the vote. So I think that's pretty big time.
Well, I'm not going to, the one thing I know, when Peyton showed up, he wanted to meet me. One of his handlers came and got me. Said, Peyton wants to meet you.
Is he a tall guy, just as tall as you?
Tall like me.
Yeah, he got a big head, coach?
His head is pretty good size. I was able to share some information with him. I told him I played against his daddy.
Really?
Archie played shortstop for Ole Miss, and we played against him in the Easter tournament at LSU back in 1971.
Wow, his dad was a pretty good athlete.
Pretty good baseball player, yeah. Was a good athlete.
Yeah, great athlete, man. And, to be able to have those type of accomplishments that you've had, and you talk about not being complacent, going off in life, being successful, getting on magazines, being honored all over the place, man. It got to feel good when you sit back sometime and say, look at my life.
Yeah. It's got to be good.
Yeah.
I'm just getting a text right here to speak at the Zachary Rotary Club. So
You going to accept it?
Well, I have to.
Yeah.
I live in Zachary.
Yeah.
And it's a community service event.
Is it a lunch event?
It's probably they do lunch.
You invite me with you then, Coach. I like lunch.
I did.
If there's food, I'm there, Coach. I missed the New Rose. I would have been there, too, with all the food.
They had a lot of food.
Don't tell me that. I love food, dog.
But they got a big event that they told me coming up. The lady interviewed me for 2 hours yesterday. On the 11th of November, they want me to come. November the
11th? Oh, yeah.
It's football weekend.
I was hearing some people, funny enough, I was hearing some people talking at the tailgate that was there. They was like, if you're going to die, just don't die during football season, right? Because we ain't trying to go to no funerals on Saturday mornings, right? You're messing up the day. You got Thursday to Friday to do what you're going to do, but Saturday, don't.
It's a shame.
No, listen.
It's just a shame.
It is a holy obligation in South Louisiana when it comes to tailgating that you must be there. Don't schedule a bar mitzvah. Don't schedule a birthday party, a wedding.
Man, cut it out.
Don't do none of that.
Don't mess up with football.
No, you better not. Nobody will be there but you.
I noticed you threw that phone down when I told you it was a football game. You weren't looking at that day.
What's that?
On the 11th of November.
I was looking at it when you said a Saturday night. I said, yeah, it's over with, Coach. I thought about it, but you lost.
I told him the same thing. I said, why couldn't you do it on the Thursday night? On Wednesday, we want to do it Saturday.
I could take a Friday night. When you said Saturday night, I said it's
You're
over
in trouble.
with. Yeah, it's already.
But, in New Road, it's going to be the biggest thing happening. Sort of like the only plane flying that night,
Yeah.
So it's going to be big in their opinion.
I hope you have a good time over there. I'm happy that where you from is starting to recognize and honor great. I mean, who's probably the most famous person from New Rose?
From Punkin Ernest Gaines, the writer. You got to know he's a legendary writer. In my opinion, he is, but because he's a writer, people probably won't recognize how talented he was. And, they'll put an athletic person. And like I said, I was telling my nephew that he's more popular than me, and he laughed and he said, "There's no way."
No way.
He says, "No way." He said, plus he said, you were the very first to set the standard high.
Eventually, they'll name a street after you in New Rose. Roger Cador Avenue or something.
I doubt it, but.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Southern somebody will name a street after you. Something around there will be named after you one day. Do you have anything named after you currently?
No.
No?
Just the baseball field.
The field house? The Roger Cador baseball field house?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
That's it. All right. Hey, at least you're here to get to see it. That's right. All right. We're here to see the end of another show because it's been a great one. I'm Perry White. He's Roger Cador. My man Gary Edgerson, Aaron in the building today, man. We want to thank you guys for tuning in and watching with us. Be sure to hit that subscribe button right there underneath the video. Become a subscriber. Get a chance to go back and watch any of our previous episodes and get that notification next time we do go live. You never know the day with us. It could be a Monday. It could be a Tuesday. But if you subscribe, you'll get that notification no matter what day it is and know that we're going live. And want to thank you guys for tuning in. As always, we love and appreciate your support. Coach, what you doing this week? You got anything big this week?
I think I got a couple of things going this week. So we'll see.
You want to go to a LSU football game this weekend?
Who they playing?
Arkansas.
I doubt it. It's supposed to be hot.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be pretty. 6 o'clock kickoff, though. Southern's off this week. I got nothing to do but go tailgate and watch a little football, a little SEC football.
Okay, good thing, man. For some reason, this phone was typing about to send a message everything we talk.
Oh, yeah. It's listening.
I mean, it's amazing. It had dictated, and I mean, it's amazing.
Technology, baby. Welcome here. We here, Coach.
We going.
Yeah, we here. Get us out of here, Coach. We out of here.